Hello, in this video we're going to look at how to embed your Comic Machine comic into your web page, your website, or onto your WordPress blog. What we're basically doing is taking the iframe tag that the Comic Machine will generate and then copying and pasting it into the body of the your web page HTML, or into the body of the WordPress blog post. So first off, you need to log into your Comic Machine account. Again, you can get your own account at www.thecomicmachine.com. You can register yourself and start using it today. So you would have to create a comic in the create part of the website of the platform, and once you've created it, open it up, and very simply, to get the embed code is under the comic menu. You just go to embed and there's the embed tag. All you need to do is select and copy that text and close the comic. So what you got to do next to embed it onto your web page is to open up an HTML file that's in your web page or your website. I'm actually seeing this with Dreamweaver, but as if you know anything about HTML, you can just edit with any text editor. So in this version of Dreamweaver, I can view the file in split view. So the top part is the visual interface, and down at the bottom is just the code interface. So with all HTML files, you want to put the iframe in between the body tag. So there's the body tag here. I'm going to put a space in between there and then paste the iframe code. So if I click on the top half, you see a square showing up. I can't actually see it until I actually load it into a browser. And conveniently, well, first I'm going to save it first. Just save it as AAAA, and then I'll preview it in Safari. As you can see, it's at the default size of the document, which is 1024 pixels by 768 pixels, and this is on a preview of it on the web page, not on the Comic Machine site. Now, say if I want to make it a bit smaller, you can do that by scaling down these dimensions here. Right, it's by default the code is set at 1024 pixels by 768. You can adjust it to anything that's proportionate to that. So right here is what it starts out at. You can do it at any of these dimensions or anywhere in between, as long as it's proportionate. If not, then you get like a black bar on the top or bottom or something. Just for this purposes, I will use 600 by 450 pixels. So what I do is I go in there, type 600 to replace the 1024. 768 is replaced by 450. Now if I click on the design, the visual, you see the square is a bit smaller. And let's preview that. Just save it first. Preview in browser, you can see it's a bit smaller. And it's a fully working version of the comic, scaled down. Of course, we're working on these user interfaces, still a beta version, but we will probably replace this with vector user next button there, just so that it scales down with the rest of it. And also, we don't. It's the navigation is not functional. It's just a just the next button that shows up. But in the future versions, we will definitely put in a UI navigation for the embedded version. So for those of you who have embedded a YouTube video onto your own website, this will be very familiar. So after that it's been embedded, you can further modify the page and not not alter the comic. So as you can see, I've centered the comic. I can also go in and change the background to black. So I mean, this all could be, if you're familiar with, you don't need to use an HTML editor, you can do it in the code. And so let's preview it. As you can see, now it's centered on the web page, and also there's a black background, which makes it more presentable, and it's a fully functional comic within your web page. So you can take this iframe tag and also put it into your blog. I'm going to just demonstrate a WordPress blog, and I'm going to copy the scaled down version of the iframe tag, which is right here. When I mean scaled down, I meant the width and height is already changed to 600 by 450 instead of 1024 by 768, which is the default size. By the way, you probably don't want to make it too small. I think down about 200 here, I think it's too small to actually be usable. So I am going to make a new post on this WordPress website. So what you got to do is actually edit it with the in the text version, which is a strictly text HTML version. You don't want to do it on the visual side, because that's basically you're just seeing the code outright, and it won't actually be part of the HTML code. So I just pasted in there. You can see visually that it's right there already. You can actually see it in the preview. You can also add what you want as far as a title. There you go. I'm going to copy this text here, iframe comic, onto the title, so I have something to click on there. I'll update, and so I'll check the website to see how it looks. Go to the blog. You can see that I didn't put in a featured frame, but if I click on it, you can see that the comic is right there in the body of the blog. So you can add a bunch of text if you want, or some description, or whatever you want to augment the post. So another tip that might be helpful is to set a featured image for this blog post. This is an image I already previously uploaded. I'm going to update. Okay. So now when I open up that blog, there's an image icon there. This is good for your blog as well as, so when I click on it, it'll open up, there's a featured image, and then the comic is right under it. But when you go to share this on social media, there'll be a clickable image in your Facebook feed posting, which is always good for readers to see something visual. So if you want to learn more about posting to Facebook and other social medias, check the tutorial video on sharing to social media. Thanks for watching.